Parasocial relationships are getting more and more common as the internet grows. Before, you might see your favourite actor at a meet and greet or signing books, but now you can send your quote-unquote comfort creator $10 so they can acknowledge you for 5 seconds, and even calling this shit acknowledgement is a stretch. We're starting to feel like we have a say in the lives of content creators, even though to them, we're just a number in an anime profile picture among thousands. And all of this perfectly segues into situations of Muselk and RT Game, once hailed like Golden Boy, a perfect example of how you transition a channel, while the others shunned. But I think there's a lot more to this story than people realise. So if you allow me, to really understand this whole story, we gotta go back to the start of TF2 YouTube. More specifically, the era of Star and Germa, an iconic duo, basically the faces of TF2 YouTube for a while, back in a time where Star was actually more popular than Germa. But as happens to most people, after a while, they just started to get bored of the game. And this started to happen at the all-time peak of their career. It brought up an interesting dilemma, especially for Star. Should he keep going even though he doesn't like where his channel's going? He was making some amazing money at the time. Keep going with this style of content, and he could have led an easy life. But Star didn't see YouTube as a job, just a passion project, and so he did what he wanted, even though what he wanted wasn't what his community wanted.
You're telling me the only reason I have value is because I can perform this one sole task that you want me to, but I don't have to do it, and I don't value myself the same way that you value me.
Some former fans started sending horrible shit to him, things that I can't even show here, and things that he probably hasn't even made public. His fans felt entitled to the content they wanted. He got messages like, "How dare you leave us, we made you who you are," and they're kinda right. But at the end of the day, he didn't and doesn't owe them anything. We look at the other side of this transition, and we see Germa. When he went away from the game, his interests happened to line up with what his community wanted. That's the only difference that explains why one was loved by the people and the other was ostracized by a community that he once loved. But how does that all come back to our main story here? Well, it's all down to the entitlement we feel as viewers that we personally should be catered to, even though we represent a percent of a fraction of the total viewer base. But when that fraction starts to grow, should the creator give in? It's a simple question. Should a creator always cater to their audience? I'll let you decide. Muselk and RT Game came onto the scene years after that, making similar content, just regular live commentaries. It was the most common type of content out there at the time, and it makes you really feel close to the creator. It makes a large fan base, all of which see you as a friend, not a creator. And Muselk grew a lot faster than RT, mainly because he ran his channel and the way to see the most success. When he saw that TF2 was quote-unquote dying, he switched to Overwatch. Then the same thing for Fortnite. If another new game comes out, I expect him to do the same thing. People saw that the Muselk of today was a far cry from the laid-back, rocket jumping guy that they'd grown to love. But this wasn't personal development. He was putting on a character to drive up views. It worked, but was it worth it? To us, of course not. We lost one of the best TF2 creators out there. A mainstay of the community. We missed the creator we lost because the stuff he made back then was really damn good. His videos are part of the reason I still play this game. But it obviously worked out for Elliot himself. He's rich, like really rich. True as a reverence of, and maybe even out of spite of the TF2 community, Muselk succeeded. Even now when he's fallen off, I say that not seriously. The dude's pulling numbers that most, including me, could only dream of. And it all came down to his work ethic. He worked day and night on what he saw as a business. In some of his old videos, he mentions how much it took out of him. In one of the old ones, he casually drops that he hasn't slept properly in weeks thanks to the effort of consistently dropping daily. It completely drained him at this stage. You can only imagine what it did to him over years of Fortnite content. But RT just kept doing what he wanted, which is some silly stream highlights. I used to think of it like Daniel was just doing what he wanted, ignoring success, but he's successful too. At the moment, even more so in Muselk. Selling out usually leads to some quick success, but following your passion is what leads to long-term success. It brings up a big question. Should a YouTube channel be run like a business? Because that's what Muselk did, and it really worked out for him. so surely it wasn't the worst decision. Most people have respect for anyone who values their craft, their purpose, over monetary success, me included. But one part of this really infuriates me. When people call Muzak a traitor, saying he betrayed the TF2 community, his fans, everyone that cared about him. But why? At the end of the day, he's a YouTuber. He makes a product we consumers. He doesn't need any loyalty to us. And really, he just made the best business decision. People tend to look down on anyone running their YouTube channel as a business. And while it's pretty common nowadays, back around a decade ago, it was unheard of. And that's because it represented everything YouTube was offering escape from. Mainstream media. When YouTube first started off, there was no money on offer. With the equipment you need to make a good video, you lose money. AdSense only started in 2009, 4 years after it was founded. And even then, only the biggest channels would ever make any money. But money didn't matter. It was just a couple people fucking around on camera. It wasn't some huge production team with 20 editors, writers, cameramen. Channels were usually just operated by one person. It also made people feel like they should have a say in what the creator does. It reminds me of an old Ludwig quote, which I heard off the Weekly Slap, which you're now hearing from me on Cross. Treat my shit like a TV show. You can watch all you want, tune in every Tuesday and Thursday, 8 PM Eastern. Fuck it, buy the merch if you want. But at the end of the day, you should care about the characters as much as they care about you. And caring about you doesn't equal harsh reacting to your comments or reading out a donation. In fact, the whole concept of donations has always just seemed weird to me. There's such a huge imbalance of power. You're paying an hour's worth of work just for some dead e-boy or e-girl to read out your name. So why do they matter so much to you? They're not your friend, they don't care about you. With a TV show, it can continue regardless of what you think. It's only recently that people actually have a say in what happens in production. When you give everyone a voice, you have them think that their voice matters. Look at that star video from the start. Each person there thinks that what they say matters. To any creators out there, acknowledging these people gives them validation that their comment means something. Don't pay any heed. And the same goes for what I'm saying now. If you think completely differently to everything I say in the video, don't change a thing, live your own life. Just don't bother commenting. I'm not gonna read it. Goodbye, good luck, boo loop.